I remember, so we had this hearing in the ornate chambers, and everybody was there. The press, of course, never being sympathetic, I got a call, and they said, well, we heard during your hearing somebody smoked a joint in the chambers. And I said, give me a break. There's smoke detectors. The sheriffs are there. So the guy said, well, didn't you smell it? I said, I don't know what it smells like. So, and the connection, and thank you for that, with Harvey and Dennis, very important. They did have a bromance, absolutely. And in fact, when I first met Dennis, he was at the Island, a restaurant there that he started, and Harvey was a patron. Well, so one thing that I always admired about both of them is they connected the fucking dots. And today we say intersectionality. I mean, they saw it, the health, the criminal justice, all the housing, land use, all the attendant issues. Because, systematically, marijuana, has that reefer madness association. At the Board of Supervisors, we did what we could. We had a lot of sympathy. Dennis's genius was manifested. I had no idea what was going to await me in Sacramento. The mayors were playing at both sides. Feinstein was totally against it. And God knows she could use some edibles today. Jesus Christ. Willie Brown looked at the money part of it, and Gavin Newsom, went back. I'm against marijuana. I'm for marijuana. Fine. So Sacramento, a different animal, much different animal. I brought activism to my elected career. And that's been, I think, a plus for me because, it helps you get across social justice ideas. You have a platform. Sacramento, they wouldn't, the speaker said to me when I introduced the bill, I don't want you to introduce the bill because, you won't even get a second out of committee. Well, I learned the blood sport of politics here in San Francisco. And so I was able to get it heard in committee, even one time out of committee. What I found out, the undermining of the bills happened from the obvious, the police, et cetera, and so forth. But it also happened, and I was so glad to hear the speaker from Santa Cruz. One of the reasons my bills got undermined was from another element in the marijuana community, which was out for the money only. Patient rights weren't that important. And so they hired lobbyists, and they said, Ammiano is not the guy. He's too lefty, he's too queer, he's whatever he is. But we need to have it as, more of an establishment approach, meaning only for money. It was a bridge issue up there sometimes. There's a guy from Modoc County, a very conservative Republican, but there were issues with marijuana in his county. And I said, why don't I come up to Modoc County? And he goes, well, I don't know. There's a lot of rednecks up here. I said, yeah, but they make the best husbands. So, so the irony was you could win somebody like that over, but not some of what we now call dinos, Democrats in names only. So it's very, very, very complicated. But, I was proud with the community support to be able to present this, have it go down, but to start the conversation. And that meant a lot. And Rob Bonta was a colleague of mine. That was his first year there. He was always very supportive. And, to see him now as AG and to listen to his reasoning and his analysis is such a wonderful thing. After all the, what could I say, opposition to it, they even once when we had a committee meeting on the marijuana, the opposition organized Black ministers to come to the hearing and picket it. I mean, so the idea went deep, but I always say the problem with Sacramento and places like that is it's all about legislation, but we're really a movement. And we're part of a movement that's focused on marijuana, but we're also interconnected with other movements, the queer movement, the immigration movement, the healthcare movement. Someday we're going to have single payer, I promise you. And then maybe this access and equity issue will finally be resolved. I can only hope so. And remember, as I said in Sacramento, when they go low, we get high. Thank you.